Chronicles 2. Sorry about that. Set us up here, Rich. What are we looking at?
Cool. So if you've watched the trailer, you already got a bit of a taste of what the world and the story looks like. So we're going to kind of go a little bit deeper into the combat system and talk about what makes Xenoblade Chronicles 2 special. Right now, we're looking at, I'm going to do a little bit of story stuff, I have to admit. And I'm going to have Mr. Takahashi do some explanations of the world as we're playing. But before we do this, I want to get into a bit of the combat so that you can get a sense of what's happening. Just, as I'm playing and as we're talking. Right now, we're looking at the two sort of protagonists. We're looking at Rex on the right and Pyra on the left. It might look like I've got two people in my party right now, but when I get into combat in just a moment, you will see, let's take a look at them real quick. There's Rex, there's Pyra, hi guys. So once we get into combat, you'll see it's really only Rex who's doing the fighting. Rex is what's called a driver, and then Pyra is his blade. The blade imbues a character with a weapon, with an ability to fight functionally. So you can see that he pulls out the Aegis blade, and there, I'm going to try to get a better camera angle on them. You can see Pyra is sort of powering him or charging him up. What this allows me to do is on the right-hand side, you'll see the new arts palette. People who've played the Xenoblade Chronicles series will remember the arts palette from previous games. It's been streamlined significantly now, so it's just using the 4 buttons on the right-hand side of the Joy-Con controller. As with the previous Xenoblade Chronicles games, attacks are automatic, and with every attack, you'll see I'm building up my arts. You can see around the little diamond, I'm kind of building up my attack power. I now have all of them fully charged, and I can trigger an attack. I'm going to launch my anchor shot to pull some HP out, because honestly, this first battle that I'm doing right here is a little bit on the tough side with just one person here. So I need to pull as much HP as I can. You'll notice my double spinning edge has a side attack bonus. I'm going to try to get around and demonstrate. There, you see that little halo indicates that I was able to get around and pull off the side attack. It's going to be hard to get a back attack on him. Oh, he didn't turn. No, that didn't pull off. But every time I'm doing these attacks, as I'm doing my arts, or as I'm doing my basic attacks, I'm charging my arts. And then as I'm doing my arts, I'm charging up my blade's ability to attack using her power. That's the right-hand icon on my arts palette right there. You just saw it went to level 1, and I've got this flame ability. Pull back, and you can see Pyra is charging me up, and I just blasted him, and now he's on fire. He'll be dead in just a moment, so we'll do some more combat stuff after that. Now, right now, I'm just showing you what the absolute basics are about, so that I can start layering some additional complexity on. And it's a very deep RPG, and I want you guys to be able to understand what I'm talking about here. As I'm going into this next battle, though, I wanted to ask Takahashi-san a question. The first time I heard the name of this game, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, my first question was, why is this Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and not a follow-up to Xenoblade Chronicles X or some other suffix?
今回のタイトルを最初に聞いたとき、ゼノブレイド2というタイトルなんですが、思ったのがなぜ今回は2なんでしょうか。ゼノブレイド X の次のタイトルではなかったんでしょうか。
そうですね。今回はゼノブレイドクロニクス X の場合はかなりオープンワールドをベースにした探索メインのゲームだったんですけれども、今回どちらかというとゼノブレイド1に近いリニアなストーリードリブンなゲーム性を目指して作ってますので、あえて今回は2とさせていただきました。
So when we were developing Xenoblade Chronicles X, it's really a game driven through exploration and in an open world. And with Xenoblade Chronicles, it was really story driven. And this time we want to create a story driven narrative and game. And so we opted to go with Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Thanks. That answers a lot of questions because we do have a very strong character focus in this game, and we'll be showcasing a few more of the characters who make up your party in a minute. I do want to point out, by the way, that where we are in development right now, there's still a lot of polish that's going on. So the graphics look really great already. You can see off in the distance. We'll talk a bit about the world, but you can see how much I have to explore before this demo is over right now. But in the months that we have left in development, we're going to see a lot of polish going on. So bear that in mind as we're playing. Right now, I'm looking out across this field, and up here you see the head of the Titan on whose back we're riding. Over here you can see the Cloud Sea. I want to point out that one thing that makes this game very different from other games is all of the land masses are really titans. You're walking on the backs of these gigantic monsters. This is the only place you live. You fly around on airships or you ride on the backs of titans, but there's no land mass other than perhaps you might be able to see a hint of the world tree that was mentioned in the trailer there. But we'll be getting into that a little bit later on. Now, Matt, you had a question about this, an observation that you'd made when we were talking.
Yeah, right. So, of course, you see the verticality there, and you just mentioned that these are titans that we're exploring right now. And in the original Xenoblade Chronicles game, we had two bodies of land, Bionis and Mechonis, and that kind of set up how you explored that game, and it really kind of drew out the story as well. I was wondering, for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, how did you go about building this world, and how do the Titans play into it?
ゼノブレイド1では鬼神と巨神っていうところでストーリーが繰り広げられたと思うんですが、今回はどういった形でこの巨神獣っていうのはストーリーに関わってくるんでしょうか。
そうですね。今回は、かなり今までよりもかなりストーリーの根幹に関わってくる存在としてこのアルスという、生物がいます。で、今ここにいる生物はキリンのような四つ足で歩いているやつなんですけれども、それ以外にも人型であったり。クジラみたいなやつであったり、いろんな形の、アルスが存在しています。でそれぞれがここは今大自然の景観が多いところなんですけども、雪原であったりとか、海洋的なものである海みたいなものであったりとか、そういったようなさまざまな景観を今回はいろんなアルスに散りばめて、それぞれ探索して遊んでもらえるような作りになっています。
And so I think you will notice as you play this game that these titans really play an even more of a core role in the game and the story itself. And as you see here, the titan you see here is kind of like this giraffe-like titan walking on all fours in a long neck. But there are titans that are in humanoid form. There are titans that look like whales. So there's all different kinds of titans. And each of those titans have a specific type of landscape that they have on their back. So like you see here, there's, this one has a lot of lush greenery, and you'll see other titans may have a snowfield, other ones are just water-based. So they all play a different role, and they all have a very distinct existence within this world. And I think that you'll find it fun exploring, and that's really a big part of the story.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Now, I've been holding off on getting into more combat because I want to show off another element of the game. I mentioned that Pyra is Rex's blade, but I actually have another blade with me here, Fudor, and I'm going to conjure forth a new blade. Earlier in the battle, in my very first battle, I picked up this core crystal right here. I used this core crystal to pull out new blades. When I summon a new blade or conjure a new blade into existence from these core crystals, they bring with them a new weapon type. And then I get access to new arts. And I'll talk a little bit more about that too, but I wanted to ask Mr. Takahashi to explain a little bit about the relationship between blades and drivers and where that came from.
まず今コアクリスタルで新しいブレードが出てきたんですが、このドライバーとブレードの間の関係性っていうのに関してお話しいただけますでしょうか。
はい、まずブレードと呼ばれている今コアクリスタルから誕生したんですけれども、これはプレイヤーに対してドライバーに対して力を与えてバトルを、組み立てていく存在になります。で、今、3人ついてますけれども、アタッカー、タンク、ヒーラー、大きく分けてこの3つの、力を持ったブレードをプレイヤーが自由に組み立てていって自分のプレイスタイルを作っていくというようなゲーム性にしています。で、今、ゲームにいるキャラクターは、今3人なんですけども、これ以外にもさまざまな姿を持った特殊な能力と姿を持ったブレイドが、たくさん存在します。なのでこれをゲーム中に集めていって自分のプレイスタイル、好きなプレイスタイルで遊んでいくっていうような組み立て方ができるようになっています。
So as you saw in the menu option there, you had 3 different blades, you know, the beams that came out of the core crystal. And as you explained earlier, Rich, these blades provide power and strength to the driver that they're connected with. And as you see here, there's only 3 in this, but there are actually many different types of blades, and they all take many different forms, and they all have different attributes and skills that they bestow on the driver. And but they all kind of separate into three kind of main categories, which is attacker, healer, and tank. And so based on the type of gameplay and playstyle that you have, you can mix and rearrange these blades to really fit your playstyle, and it gives you a lot of freedom into controlling how you play the game. And it's really, and there's a lot of fun to be had in collecting and finding these blades as well.
Now, I've just been slaughtering some herbivores while we were talking there. But now that I've added a few extra people into my party, you'll see I've got Nia and Tora here, each of them with their own supporting characters, let's say. Right now, I have 3 blades at my disposal just for Rex, and I can swap between them once they've charged up adequately. I added these people to my party in part because Tora is a tank. That's what he's best at. So I've got him drawing aggro from, I got the Field Armu's kid is now angry at me too. I probably shouldn't have attacked Dad.
We can see that he's getting the Argo because of that red circle around him, right?
Yeah, so he's got all of, oh, that didn't look great. He's got all of the aggression of the enemy centered on him, freeing me up to move around into different positions and pull off some of my side and back attacks. Now, the arts palette in the past has been a fairly complicated menu system to navigate. What seems to be the case in this game now is we've got the arts palette of just a handful of buttons on the right-hand side, but we've also got the blades on the left-hand side. When I swap between blades, I can bring out a new set of arts. So instead of having to navigate any menus, I have all of them at my fingertips. I can just tap the blade that I want to bring into battle, which they're charging up right now. I may kill this guy before I get any blades in here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to swap over to Fudor. I just brought him in. He's got his axe. He comes out with all of his arts ready to go. And you'll see that I have some special abilities that I can use for different conditions. As with the previous Xenoblade games, we've had like break and topple conditions. Those conditions exist here, as well as a few new ones that can chain together. Rex right now doesn't have any, I'll just go ahead and attack him here. Rex doesn't have any ability to break or topple, so I'm relying on my other characters to do that for me. And they're not really into it right now, but we'll probably knock this guy out and move on to a new battle. But I can chain off of my allies' attacks in order to trigger not just break and topple combos, but also blade combos. I'm sorry, I can't resist grabbing all of the money, all of the loot.
And these combos that you're talking about, it's great that you have everything at your fingertips. It's literally 2 button presses to get to any art. So those combos are kind of hard to set up, and they have to be timed specifically. So it's great to have it so close at your fingertips to get those off.
Wait, more gentle herbivores. Come back here. Let's fight. Oh no, you're so fast. You're like a gazelle.
武器を抜いてるとちょっと歩きが遅くなってしまう
Yeah, I
の
can
で
just target someone else.
Yeah, so if you have your weapon drawn out, you actually travel a little bit slower than you would normally.
I was not going to catch that guy. We'll just fight someone else. Evolution's been very good to them. So now I've got, let's see, Tora's drawing aggro. Nia is a healer, and so she's doing her healing attacks. She's actually pulling HP for me. Oh, there's a break. I'm not going to charge up Fudor in time to take advantage of that break, although if there's a topple, I may have a chance. I don't think we're going to get topple off of that. Now, one thing I didn't get a chance to talk about before that he's been launched. Someone else launched him. The launch was,
I think
it's passed.
Yeah.
I was going to show off another of the abilities, but we'll get another opportunity in a second, because I wanted to talk about the blade art, or the blade abilities right now. Nia's using one of her blade abilities, Poison, and you can, or actually it was Toxin, and now she's poisoned this Buffalo. Bulufo, you do it. You do it. Thank you.
Who I think is new to this, but many people may have seen that there's a lot of classic enemies from the original game too, like Bunnets.
Balufo.
Balufo? I don't know.
Balufo. I'm going to go with that for now. But we'll keep attacking these gentle creatures of the night and see what attacks we can trigger. One thing I'm kind of holding off on for now is I don't necessarily want to go into the main field, because there are going to be some things that will kill me, and I'll show you getting killed inevitably. It's just going to happen.
Right.
another thing I want to talk about is my basic attacks will trigger automatically, of course, but unlike in previous games, if I'm moving, they're not going to trigger. So I have to stop and think about where I want to be in order to do my basic attacks.
And something else about that is you don't want to move around all the time either, because each automatic attack is a little bit different. You have 3 steps to that, right?
1, 2, 3. So you can see that the basic attack is a combo. And as I'm building up my arts, I can also trigger. You see that little blue ring was me triggering an art off of my basic attack that helps me charge up a little bit faster and may do a little bit more damage.
Right.
I got it again right there.
Yep.
So even though some of the battle may feel very automatic, there are a lot of real-time actions that you're taking in order to build up your arts and to build up your blade abilities as well. I have my flame ability ready right now, and I might as well finish him off with it. Oh, he's already down. I'm sorry, Pyra, that was wasted.
Looks like you got
oh no,
someone else.
I got somebody else. Sorry, you're just collateral damage, pal. And now you're gone. I'm going to move into some more challenging enemies. The oasis where all of the gentle creatures come for a nice sip of water is maybe not the nicest place I could be. So I'm going to run past a little bit more. There was something else you had.
Yeah, sure. While you're running around here, let me ask Takashi-san. In a lot of your games, you prefix the titles with Xeno. I was wondering, just in general, what does the word Xeno mean to you?
高橋さんが作成されているゲームの中でゼノっていう言葉がよく使われるんですが、そのゼノっていう言葉は高橋さんにとってどういう意味を持っているんでしょうか。
はい、ゼノという言葉自体が異質とか異なるとか、そういった意味があったと思うんですけれども、僕ら普段他の人と一緒に暮らしているときにみんなそれぞれ違うわけで、性格が違かったりとか生まれが違かったりで、それっていうのはなんていうかな、生きていく上でドラマになります。で、そういったドラマの部分をゲームの部分にもうまく落とし込めたらいいなと思って常に、ゼノというタイトルをつけるようにしています。
So the word Xeno really means like something different or something kind of not familiar. And I think in life when we're living, you meet different people and they have different personalities, different backgrounds. And it's the drama between the interaction between those people that create the drama of life. And I thought that it would be great if I can drop that drama into video games. And that's why I add Xeno to a lot of my games.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Now, I went over and attacked this much more ferocious series of Ferrises. And they're pack animals, so they started calling in their buddies. And so this battle's going on a lot longer now. Do a little area of effect, attack, see if I can... Is anyone going to be able to topple him, though? That's the real question I have. Because I want to hang out here and see if I can pull a topple combo out of this. Oops, I did that a little bit early, but it was still all right. Now I've triggered the chill effect. You can see the chill bars slowly trickling down. If I were to pull off another, oh, down he goes. If I had time to pull off another blade art, you would get a chance to see one of those blade combos. We will have an opportunity to demonstrate that as we get deeper into this level. But for right now, you look big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you're angry. Oh, good. I don't feel so bad attacking aggressive animals. One thing I want to point out that's really interesting about this take on the Xenoblade, the familiar elements of Xenoblade, in the previous game, for example, you had the ability to identify how aggressive an enemy was and how they would spot you. You could see the little eye to indicate that they had a visual range, or you would see whether they were detecting you by sound. And as I mentioned, more importantly, you could tell if they were aggressive enough to attack you on sight. You don't have that in this game, and it's because you're intended now to learn more about the enemies. Oh, topple, 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 punch, punch. Oh, too slow.
Oh.
But there's... All right, buddy. There we go. We'll see if we can do it. I didn't get a chance to switch over to Fudor in time to take advantage of that topple. But this time around, you're meant to study the animals. You're meant to study their behaviors and learn through your experiences. You might die along the way. I certainly will. But I'll just use this ability. Just keep firing off abilities to charge up my specials. But you'll learn their behaviors, and you'll learn how to fight them through experience. and through repeated death over and over again. I'm going to trigger Tora's Shard ability now. You can see it charging through his support and doing serious knockback. Shard is still in play. If I were to trigger with a complementary ability, again, I would be able to chain off of that. Now, in order to demonstrate some of that, I am going to start. I'll grab some HP. I already healed up, but in order to demonstrate that, I'm going to have to head in the direction of town so I can show you it's not just fighting. There's a fairly sizable town on the back of this Titan. Now, one thing that we talked about earlier is the way in which the setting shapes the lives of the people in this world. In this town, I wanted to ask Takashi-san about the people. That's big.
That's a tough enemy.
Yeah, let's just show you what that looks like. Because there's a one hit. I didn't even get my sword out in time. All right, so can we even? That's another one hit. He is very territorial.
And he's a unique monster.
I've got my party bar charged up a little bit so I can bring Tora back. Oh, just in time to die. Now, as I mentioned before, when you die, did I mention this? Who knows? We'll review it on playback. When you die, you are set back to your latest checkpoint. You don't really lose anything in the process, though. Yeah. So it's like it's educational. I just had a very educational death there. But I had a question for Takashi-san about the lives of the people who live on the backs of these Titans in all of these different environments that form up or that form the world of Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
このゼノブレイドの世界を作るいろいろなタイタン、巨人樹に住んでいる人たちについて少しお話しいただけますでしょうか。
はい、今ここにあるアルスはグーラと呼ばれているキリン型のやつなんですけども、ここものすごく、自然景観の豊富な場所で木材の産業が非常に発達している場所なんですね。でここでは割とこうなんていうんですかね、町の人たちもちょっと獣人っぽい人たちが住んでいて、で木工細工であったり何だったりというのをなりわいにしている人たちがたくさん暮らしています。でちょっと場所を転ずるともうちょっと軍事大国的なアルスがあったり、そこで暮らしている人たちは軍人が多かったりとか、
住むなんか種族がまあ違うんですよね。
種族もかなりたくさん種族いますので、それぞれのアルスにそれぞれの異なった種族が住んでいて、それぞれがまあこの広大な世界の中で、まあ生きているというか、生存競争を繰り広げているような、そんな感じの世界観になっています。
So as you see here, this Titan is called Galmat, and it's the giraffe-like Titan. And as you see, there's a lot of lush greenery and nature. So lumber is a very booming industry in this world. And so once you go into town, you'll see that there's a lot of humanoid characters, people that live there, and they make a living out of doing woodcraft. And but if you go to, say, a different Titan, there are other ones that are more militaristic in nature, and each Titan has a different set of species that live there and have a different lifestyle that they live based off. And this world is created with a lot of diversity in terms of Titans and the species and the lifestyles that everybody has.
You can see there's a bit of a lumber storage yard here. There's a lumber company. Massive toppled trees here. One other thing I want to point out, you've probably already noticed there's a day-night cycle in the game. We're just fighting our way through a really rough evening. So there is a day-night cycle, there are weather cycles, but because we're in this sea of clouds, basically, this sea also has a tide, and the clouds will rise and fall and ebb and flow with the passage of time. And that rising and falling will obscure or give you access to different areas within the world. So there are places that you'll be able to get to when the tides are low that you can't access when the tides are high. It's another way in which the world itself is informing the design of the game and the look and feel of this world.
Another thing I really liked about the very first game is when it went through those day and night cycles, it kind of had the same theme music, but it changed a little bit depending on when it was, and that's back for this game, and I'm really glad because I love the music in these games.
So we're going to take a quick walk through this town, just so that you can get a sense of the scope of the world and the number of activities there are in each place. And also, I wanted to show you something over here. Again, this is very much a story of Rex and Pyra and his allies. very specifically. And at this point, we are
Oh.
there we are. We're wanted men. We've got mugshots. I don't know where they got those mugshots. And we've got another driver right here who's studying them. He hasn't noticed us yet.
No, not yet.
But why give him a chance?
We noticed him.
Oh, it's you. Hey, wait, you're the guys from the pictures. And you'll notice he has his own blade there as well. And Tora's drawn his aggro, so he doesn't even notice me. Tora didn't even have his own mugshot up there yet, so he may not even understand what this battle's about. Don't turn around.
手がないキャラクターと戦ってますね。
いっぱいこういうキャラクター出てきまして、牢屋にとらわれてるものすごく強いユニークなドライバーとブレードなんかもいますので、もちろんそういうの戦うと美味しいアイテムとか手に入りますので、ぜひいろんなところにいるやつら見つけてチャレンジしてほしいなと。
And you'll find that there's a lot of unique and interesting characters in this world. And for example, there's a really powerful driver and a blade that's locked up. And if you decide to challenge him, obviously, if you're able to defeat the character, then you get great items back. But it's a lot of the fun can come from discovering and getting to know these characters and battling with them as well.
Now, one thing before I get too far into the city, I wanted to show off. You don't have direct control over your other party members in a regular combat, but you can swap between them. So I just wanted to swap over to Nia, who's riding on the back of her blade. She's a very cat-themed character. You can see her ears. So you do have opportunities to swap between the different characters. And I'm going to get into a battle over here. I mentioned that she's a healer. I just want to show you what that looks like with her blade arts.
ニアだけ特別にね、このトラの白虎っていうキャラに乗れるんですけど。
So Nia's got a special blade where she's actually able to ride him.
And it looks great on the field as you're riding on blade back through the battlefield. So fight a few more rabbits, I think, just to thin the population. They grow like rabbits. So you can see her arts are a little bit different. She's got a full heal art that's super useful. She also has an HP potion art. I'll kill some more rabbits. Why not? It's just.
And then that potion art works really similar to Rex's art that we saw earlier, while the other healing art is more like a standard, what you would expect, like a healing.
One other thing that she has, and I'll try to charge it up during this battle with this slightly tougher rabbit, is she can initiate the break status. So if I can trigger that break, maybe by building up my arts a little bit more, this rabbit might die before I get the break. But here, I'll trigger the ability. You'll at least see the break happen. And then you see, once I've triggered break, another character might trigger topple. And then another character might trigger the launch status or other types of status.
Right.
So there's a lot of depth in choosing how you're going to attack and even choosing who your party lead is going to be. I do want to switch back to Rex, which means I'm going to be dependent on my allies to trigger those abilities for me. Let's swap blades on the battlefield, back to Pyra. So I'm going to run back through that town, show you a little of the architecture, show you a little of the lives of the people. But then before I run out of time, I do want to take on the big bad at the end so I can show off some of these more challenging moments. And I really, really want to demonstrate some of these combos I've been talking about because, it'd be a serious letdown if I tease it the whole way through and then don't actually show it.
And there's a lot going on in this town. That's what I love about the towns in these games is it feels alive and there's a lot to do. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, just the ambient chatter of people. You can stop and talk to some of the villagers. And build an understanding of the world that you're in. I'm going to run out here and just show off. I'm going to take a quick look at this warship over
and
here.
And so obviously, as we work more on the development, we'll obviously be fleshing out and expanding the town and all the activities you can do in these towns and cities.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Here's another Titan here. I was actually worried that they constructed a warship into the body of this Titan.
You're so morbid.
Well, it's just, it just seemed like he's got a lot of stuff on him. But Takahashi-san did reassure me that he is still alive and still functioning. Everybody feel better. I was legitimately worried about this. I'm sorry. So I'm going to, that is an enormous windmill. Let's take a look at it. Where is that enormous? Oh, there it is, way off in the distance. So we're going to run off. Before I get into this boss battle, though, there's a quick fight with some soldiers. again, this is tied in very closely to the storyline, the existence of this fort and the existence of these soldiers here. Takahashi-san, would you mind speaking about the soldiers that we're about to run across and their function here?
これから軍人みたいなキャラクターと戦闘が始まるんですが、そこについてストーリーに少しお話しいただけますでしょうか。
そうですね。今ここにいる人たち、兵士たちはスペルビアと呼ばれている国の兵士たちなんですけれども、
帝国兵ですね。
はい、スペルビアのアルスはもちろん別の場所にあるんですけど、今ここのグーラというところを占領している軍隊なんですね。なので、あんまりそんなに町の人たちと仲はよろしくない、特にレックスたちとはちょっと敵対関係にある、勢力になります。
So these soldiers here are actually Imperial soldiers from a different Titan, and they've actually come and invaded Golmod. And so the locals aren't really happy about that, and they're kind of in a position where they're kind of enemies of Rex and his party as well. And that's the kind of setup that we have going on here.
We're making short work of them, though, with our party all together.
Yeah.
Their attack rod is all that's left. Rot. Made short work of that crew, which is good because with the time that we have left, that might be enough time to beat or be beaten by this upcoming enemy inside of the warship.
Well,
I do want to stop
off.
I do need to.
Oh yeah, sorry.
もちろん戦艦にもシームレスに入っていけるというのがこのゲームの特徴かなと思います。
And I also think one of the great features about this game is that even going into the airship is very seamless. There's no loading and transition. You just go right into it.
Yeah, and the airship itself is vast. I mean, this cargo room that we're fighting in is tremendous.
ここだけお見せするってことになるんですけど。
All we can show is this section, but it really is massive.
今回のライブ用に用意したちょっと専用のボスっていうところを楽しんで見ていただければ
And
な
I
と。
hope you enjoy the boss that we've selected to show here on Treehouse Live.
Get some nice camera angles on him. He's going to stomp us. Okay. I want to switch back to Pyra. I'm going to talk through my strategy a little bit. I'm going to switch back to Pyra so that I can charge up my arts, pull some HP, and do some of the things that I'm more used to doing. You know, this is sort of my standard starter strategy for building up my arts, building up my blades abilities especially. What I want to do here is get all of my characters' blades to have their abilities charge up to appropriate levels so that I can trigger the combos that I want.
Right.
So I'm not going to use Flame or Toxin or Shard right now. I will attack once I get to level 3, I think. I think that's the safest.
Right. Now,
Nice
can you
couple.
switch over?
Do I have time? I didn't have time. You got
間に
it.
合わなかった。
All right,
Oh,
I
wow.
want Rich to get this combo off, so I'll talk a little bit more about what we're trying to accomplish here. We have 2 combos that we're trying to get done, maybe. One is the driver combo, which is what we are about to attempt.
Topple him.
Yeah.
Topple him.
Topple.
Somebody topple him.
リキャストが
It
ま
may
だ
not
終わって
happen
ない
now,
か
but
も
it
しれない
will happen.
And the other one is the one that we previously touched on, the blade combo, which really makes these boss battles a lot of fun, and you have to think about your strategy a lot if you want to get them done either fast or even like efficiently.
今回
どうぞ
実はドライバーが放つ物理系の格闘コンボっていうやつとブレード側が放つ属性コンボっていう2種類ありますので、これ両方合わさったりするとかなりダメージが出ますので、そういった遊びの楽しみもあります。
And like you were saying, Matt, as you were saying, there's the blade combo and the arts combo. And arts combo usually is really physical in damage, whereas blade combo has a little bit of a more elemental attribute to it that makes the gameplay a lot more, as you were saying, strategic and interesting.
Yeah, you'll notice that Pyra is fire-themed, while Fudor here is water-themed. And Kirim, my newest. Okay, topple him.
Yes,
there
yes,
it is.
do it,
And
do it,
launch.
do it.
Do the launch. Do the launch.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I love the visuals on that one. It's just hilarious to send him flying, and it does a ton of damage. But for my blade combo, it isn't Fudor that I want. Although if I can get him toppled again, I'm gonna go for the strong smash.
I'm not sure.
I'm at level 2. If you look in the right-hand corner, he's not toppled this time. I'm at level 2 on my arts. But he's broken again. I'm trying to get up to level 3, and to do that, I am going to need to keep using my arts, even if they're not necessarily the most appropriate art for that moment. We've got Toxin, we've got Shard. We're going to want Kirim for this combo, if I remember correctly.
Blade combo.
little bit more of a charge.
So let's switch over to Pyra, who's ready, because I can pull off some more HP, get my arts going. I'm not going to worry too much about trying to do the breaks and topples right now, because I really want to race my way to the level 3 art, or the level 3 blade ability.
And something that people can look forward to is the launch is not even the end of the combo. There's more after that. So
yeah, it's just that's the end of what we have at our disposal right now.
Oh,
and
ready to go.
We got toppled. Okay, I'm ready to go. Going to switch over to Kirim so that all my blades are in place. Thank you for the heads up on that. I'm so caught up in the battle. So we're going to fire off with Toxin first. You'll see that Toxin hits. Did it hit? Are you hitting? You hit.
There he is.
And now you look on the right-hand side. The bar is going down. I've got two basically tree options I can follow. I'm going to hit Virus next, which takes us to the next level on that tree option. And then I need to pay attention here because there's a little bit of action on my part. When Plague is ready, that virus is ticking down. I trigger Blade. I've got 3. Boom.
Okay.
All right.
I think I might have done it. Did I do it? Am I
good.
okay? Are we here?
Oh, wow.
Are we comboing? I think we're comboing.
That looks like a lot of damage.
So you can see the amount of strategy that you have to put into building up those combos, but when you do it, it's really satisfying.
Oh, man, it feels so good.
And having pulled off that combo, I might actually have a little bit more time than I'd expected on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is nice. I can kind of chill out and relax and unwind, get a cup of tea, switch back to Pyra, pull some HP because we are actually starting to suffer just a little bit. He's got Tora cornered. He's got him boxed in. Like, buddy, no. And there he goes.
Tora's not even on the floor anymore.
There it is. So that's it. With the effective use of both my topple effects and my blade arts, we were able to hew our way through him. It'll just take a few moments to walk back out, let the murk clear, and to walk into the cool night air. As we're taking one last walk through the town, I wanted to know if there's anything else that Takahashi-san wanted gamers to know about in anticipation of this title.
ではボスを倒してもう終わりの方に近づいてるんですが、ゲーマーの皆さんに対して高橋さんからメッセージお伝えしたいものっていうのはありますでしょうか。
はい、今回はゼノブレイド2というタイトルで作ってるわけなんですけれども、結構前作クロニクル X からは短期間でできているとは思うんですが、それもクロニクル X の時の環境があって、そのシステムの上にこれを作っているんですね。ですのでクロニクル X で楽しかった探索要素であるとか戦闘の要素であるとかといったものと、ゼノブレード1にあったストーリーを追っていくリニアな楽しさっていうこの2つが融合されているのが今回のゲームですので、ゼノブレード1が好きだったお客さんも、X が好きな方々も楽しんでもらえるようになってますので、ぜひ、遊んでみてください。
So, like we just saw Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and so the past title, Xenoblade Chronicles X, was, compared to that, I think the development time we've been able to develop it quickly, but also it was because we had the environment set up after developing Chronicles X that we're able to do this, and we're building this game on top of the engine system that from Xenoblade Chronicles X. And it has all of the fun and joy of exploration and a battle from Chronicles X, but it also has the joy and fun of the story-driven narrative that's in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. So I really hope that fans of both series will be able to really enjoy it and have fun with this game.
That's great. Thanks very much. There's one last note I wanted to make, just in case anybody had any curiosity or questions about this. If you've seen the trailer, you know that the game is voiced fully in English. We are playing an in-development build. All of the English has not been dropped into this build yet, so you're hearing a lot of Japanese. Obviously, that's not final, but I felt like I should, just mention
definitely,
it.
yeah.
あと2週間時間があれば全部英語にトランスレート
If we had 2 weeks, we could have had all the English voice in.
So close. E3 just needs to push out a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I think that'll about wrap it up for us. Thank you everyone for joining us to take a look at Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and we'd like to thank our special guests, Takahashi-san and Yokota-san.